Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to school, which I know is good for some and others don't care for it, but we're back. And so are my videos because we have a place to play them where everybody's in the same spot. So for anybody who I've not yet met, I'm Mr. Ryan. I know we got a lot of new faces, and so I definitely want to try to meet you all and at least say hello and introduce myself. And for everybody else, hi again. It was good to see you all this morning. It's so nice to be able to spend a couple few minutes with you guys when I can. That's like what I do this for. It's the best part about the job for sure. So, I talked to a couple of you this morning and I had a message for this morning, but really I think that kind of changed after I talked with just a few of you. I read a lot of incident reports lately, and I've read a lot of incident reports that to me seem like things that can be solved with words. And I know that's a difficult concept to grasp for some because of where you've come from. For me, for those of you that know my story, and for those of you that don't, I'll give you a little bit of history on how words could have helped me a tremendous amount back in my day. So I was homeless for 6 years, and much of that time I spent in and out of different people's homes, and I think some of you know the number. I was in 21 different houses. It didn't have to be that many. I didn't have to bounce around as much as I did. But what happened is if I got in trouble, or I got in an argument with the parents that I was living with, or if I had a beef with the kid who was also in the home that was my friend, I didn't know how to talk things through. I didn't know how to have conflict and not just say, I'm out, because that's all I knew is just keep moving to survive, right? And some of you are in that point. Some of you guys are in that point where every day you're just trying to get through, just trying to make it through, worried about what's going to happen after you get out of here, where you're going next, how you're going to get along there, what's your next step, and all those frustrations bubble up. I get that. I definitely do. I was there as well. But I didn't know that there was another avenue to resolving conflict than just to say, I'm out, I'm leaving, I'm going to go. And for some of you, you can't go, right? You're here, you're in this facility. And so what do you do when all of those emotions rise up, or you get mad and you have conflict with somebody, right? You can't just go, peace, I'm out, see ya, on to the next one. You're here. And so I get in that frustration, I see it bubbling up, and you say things that, I just want to hurt that person as much as I can with my words, and or I'm just angry, and I'm calling people names that I don't really mean, and I'm mouthing off to staff and all those things. I get all that, man. Your frustration's bubbling up, and there's no doubt about it. You have rights to be frustrated in those moments. But I challenge you guys, I really do, because it's so important, and I hope you guys learn this much, much sooner than I did in my life. It took me way too long to learn that you can have conflict, and you can actually leave that conversation with a person not exactly like tearing down the world. You don't have to set the whole scene on fire because there was conflict. You can actually work through things. And guys, we have some staff here who are excellent communicators, and they're much better at problem solving than I, which would hopefully encourage you to take advantage of that. Work through things with staff, man. You don't have to fight and start calling names and all that stuff. Now's the time in your life where you learn the lessons that I didn't, and it just took me way too long, and it made life really hard for a long time. You can learn now that a decision can be made that you might not care for, and that's just what it is. Like, life just is sometimes that, right? And we just got to sit, and we got to be mad or bummed about it or whatever, and that's just life. And it's okay. It doesn't mean every day is going to be like that. It doesn't mean every minute's going to be full of things that just tick you off all the time. It just means sometimes things just don't go our way, or sometimes things, decisions are made and we're like, I don't agree with that. But you know what? I'm going to chill out, and I'm going to just take my consequence, or I'm going to just agree to disagree. If you guys have heard that term before, there's all kinds of avenues that you can take other than spouting off and starting to call people disrespectful things and stuff that later on you definitely regret, because I know that you guys don't mean those things. talking to you guys and just listening to your true heart. You don't mean any of that stuff. You want to get along with people just as much as the next person, and you want people to get along with you as well. So, you get out, you get back what you put out. You get back from people what you put out to them. So if you're angry, you're mad, you're disrespecting people, you're calling them names, you're not going to get a whole lot of open ears and shoulders to lean on in return. You're going to get people who are going to avoid you, and you're going to end up isolated and mad and depressed and all the things because outwardly you're just constantly teeth and fangs out, claws scratching. You're that type, Not saying you can't feel those feelings, but when those feelings come up, man, talk them through. And some of you aren't talkers, I get it, right? Write them down. Listen to music in class that helps you process, or whatever your thing is. If it's just you got to go in your room and take 15 or something, do that. Don't get yourself into more trouble, and don't burn bridges, and don't put out that nastiness, because that's the way it's going to come back to you. Again, I learned that way too late. It resulted in me having to move constantly and not having supports that I used to have, and I became very isolated, and that's when I started sleeping outside more often than not, or sleeping in my car, because I was just a mad, angry person for a long time, and I didn't know how to tell people, it's not you, it's my life. Like, it's not you. Please don't think it's you. It's all the stuff that's going on around me that's making me this way, and I don't want to be disrespectful. I wish I would have been able to do that. I wasn't. I hope that you guys are. You have the opportunity right now, and honestly, what a huge, huge life lesson that is. I'm rambling. It's almost 7 minutes, so I'm going to wrap up here. Take advantage of it. You got an opportunity to practice those skills right now. It's not personal when staff tells you something that they need you to do or stop doing or takes 5 from you or whatever, man. It's just the rules, and that's the way life goes. Let's learn now that we can be okay with, dang, that sucks, but I'm going to keep trying to do my best today, and I'm going to keep trying to have the best day I can so I can put out kindness and openness to people and warmth to people, so that's what I get back. If that's what you want, that's what you got to put out. It's all a cycle. All right, that's it for me, guys. It was nice seeing everybody today. Hopefully I'll get a chance to stop back and just chat it up a little bit more. But have a good day. Have a good week. We'll see you around. Thanks.